Can you just use the dark web?
Yeah.
You know how to get on there? The dark web?
Benny knows how.
I barely know how to get on the light web.
I don't know how to get on the light web either. I have trouble logging into your web account, to your internet. That would be funny if I used your IP address to do dark web.
And then if you give me an entire day, I couldn't figure out how to get on the dark web.
No.
If someone was like, go to dark web, just get there.
All right. Here's a game I've been playing lately.
Okay.
All right. This is how you are now, but you're in prison and you have a computer with no charger. It's at 100%, your computer, but you're in a room with padded walls, no door or window. There's one little light in the corner, and your task is to get on the dark web before the computer runs out of batteries, or you'll be shot by a firing squad. Do you think you could do it?
The circumstances don't change my ability to get on the dark web.
But you have to figure out how to do it, okay? Figure out how to do it.
My apartment now might as well be padded walls, gun to my head.
Yeah.
That would be the same level of ability.
Yeah.
Just because there's a gun to my head doesn't mean I know how to do dark web all of a sudden. I would just type faster.
This game we're playing. It's called Scenarios.
I would just open more tabs.
Great. So you'd open more tabs and type faster.
I would type how to access dark web. ChatGPT. How to access dark web. Next Google browser. How to access dark web for dummies. Dark web for idiots.
Okay.
Beginner guide to dark web.
Would you get a panic attack?
No, because when I get to the dark web, I wouldn't even know if that was the dark web.
So you'd be shot by a firing squad.
Yeah.
How
would you do it?
I would do the same thing. But first, you know what I would do is I would email like the geekiest, dorkiest person I know who knows coding.
Benny.
Yeah. See, you could have messaged Benny, but you're dead already.
I died.
I would message Benny. I would tell him my situation. I would have 3 tabs open of different conversations of people I'm trying to help, who are trying to help me get dark web. The first person would be a geeky, dorky guy. I would obviously flash him. I would obviously show some hole because it's a life or death situation.
You can't show hole before you get the access to the dark web.
I would go live on Facebook. I would say, hey, everyone, I'm in this room. Like, please, I have... my computer's about to run out of battery and I'm going to die. If somebody needs to help me access the dark web, I'm telling you, this is not funny. I'm freaking out. This is my task.
Live on Facebook?
Yes, these are my 3 things. And then, inevitably, because people are so helpful and sweet and kind, and I'm pushing for humanity to help out in this scenario, I'd get it done.
Yeah, you'd get there way faster than I would.
Well, you're just giving up right away.
I would just do Google search. You would have multimedia fingers in all the different pots.
Yeah.
You would immediately email all the losers in your life. And say
one loser, one good guy.
No, loser. I'm saying affectionately.
Yeah.
If I'm saying you're a loser because you can access the dark web.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
It's the highest of praise.
Yeah.
Yo, that's my task for the day. I think
web?
you've given me my purpose for today.
Access the dark web?
Yeah, I like to live vicariously through my thoughts and like what I desire each day. I don't play long game, I play short game. So my short game for the day is accessing dark web.
Okay.
Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the game Scenarios as a precursor to the pod.
Welcome to Gag Economy, the podcast where we discuss gigs and gags.
We talk about freelancing as musicians in New York City and all the different hijinks we get into. We have a jam-packed episode for you guys today.
We made a list of all the things to discuss.
That's
how
list.
You know. 3 of them are gags.
Yeah.
One is a gag I experienced. Goes
Yes.
to recent past.
Yes.
Write in gag.
We have a write-in gag.
You have a recent gag where you experienced a brush with death.
I have a recent brush with dead gag. Actually, I think it was like 2 months ago. So is that a ghost of gags past?
It's on the line. It's right on the line.
Amazing. We're talking about gigs today. This is what it's like to be a musician in New York City.
You have a rant that you've been simmering on.
I mean, I'm simmering. I've been simmering on it probably my whole life, but definitely since the last pod.
You had a party.
I had a party.
We can talk about having a party.
Parties are great.
I went to see John Batiste at the Metropolitan Opera House, and I got a review.
You've got a review, baby.
I'd like to review him.
Baby girl's got a review.
It's not a rant. It's just a little review.
It's a little review. All right. Well, what should we do? Should we do this for our listeners? Do this. Should we keep it comprehensible? Comprendes. Para comprender las palabras de...
I don't know how that would be different than what we normally do. But I'd be happy to keep it comprehensible.
First of all, I don't know how you could possibly not comprehend us. We're speaking English, aka the language of the universe. B,
universal grammar.
We're ladies. This is the era of ladies. C, we have cool clothes on. Well. You look super cool. I look really cool. And
those are 3 reasons why you should comprehend us.
Exactly.
We're women.
Yeah.
We have clothes on.
Yeah.
And I forgot the third one.
And we're speaking the universal language, aka English, not music. I know you guys thought I was going to say music is the universal language.
It's so weird you said that because I had a conversation hours ago about universal grammar.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa is right.
Okay, before we get into a gag story, gig or gag story, tell me about universal grammar.
I don't know that much about it. I was into it like 10 years ago, and I read a book about it, and I couldn't tell you one thing about it.
Okay, here's my idea behind it.
Go for it.
It's like caveman stuff, ooga booga. You know, like it's how I push information through the air to get to you, and then you push it back to me, and that's universal grammar. You know what I'm saying?
Grunts.
Okay, it starts with a grunt.
What am I saying now?
You're saying your face is puffy.
Correct. You do one to me.
Okay.
You're saying thank you. Your face is puffier.
Thank you.
That was, I'm hungry. Can I have a little snack?
See? We got it. Universal grammar makes complete sense.
Okay, here's one.
Yeah. You just got caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing.
Dark web.
Dark web. Someone's trying to do weird stuff.
Do you want to do your rant first, or should we ease in with some gag stories?
Let's ease in with some gag stories.
Let's ease in. You want to take the first one? You want me to do it?
I think you should do it. But should we tell the audience what a gag is and what a gig is? Or are we past this point? Do we care?
To all our new listeners.
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome.
How'd you find us? Rate and review.
Oh my God. You know what you're reminding me of right now?
What?
Okay. So I've been getting all these crazy like algorithm thing like changes. Like all of a sudden now my algorithm on Instagram is a ton of like cystic acne stuff and a ton of people getting downloads. People getting downloads from aliens, like doing tongues, but aliens.
Cool.
So it's like it'll be like this lady, like completely like a Karen looking lady going, and the transmission is telling me that you are an individual and you have been brought here to live your purpose. Like stuff like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's what I've just been getting. So that, your face just reminded me of that for some reason.
Yeah. I felt like that. I felt like I was getting transmissioned.
Yeah. So gigs versus gags. We play gigs, hopefully leading to a gag or two. We like when things go awry. Is it normal? Then it's a gig. Does it go awry? Then it's a gag.
That's a gag. That's a gag.
Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? Look, when you work freelance, you have many different bosses. Your jobs happen all over the place.
Yes.
Some of them are run of the mill. Some of them are predictable.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
As soon as some chaos is inserted into the mix, what you have is a gag.
Exactly. Guess what? 99.999% of people are gag workers. You know why? Life is fleeting. Even if you think you have that tenure, boom, someone catches you sticking a finger in your ass in between classes, you're fired.
That's the truth of the matter.
That's it.
Every person is a gag worker.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, your job could like that.
Yeah. You think you're the dean of Columbia Arts High School, but someone catches you liking a post from Rachel Dolezal's, you're out.
You're out.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't think that we're making reference to anything current in the news because we don't consume news. We only consume alien transmission.
Yeah.
White lady videos.
As far as I know, Rachel Dolezal's was on fire 10 years ago. That is 10 years old news.
I don't even know her
anymore.
real name. Okay, so that's the premise.
Gigs.
And we're going to get things kicked off with 3 different gig stories.
Sponsored by Blue Bottle Coffee.
Sponsored by iPhone.
Okay.
Sponsored by Pen.
Sponsored by Glass.
Sponsored by Toe.
Sponsored by Hangnail.
Sponsored by Use Kleenex.
Okay, for those of you who are listening and not watching, we are lifting up random things that may or may not be our sponsors. May or may not make this pod possible.
We're sponsored by all of these things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this gag story now.
Okay, please tell me now. Oh, but hold on. We're having audio. There we go. Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, I was hired to play a wedding proposal in Central Park.
Beautiful.
So beautiful. I love proposals. They're very short.
Nice.
The location was prime. I could get there in 10 minutes. I would be out the door and home within an hour.
Oh, magic.
And I was playing with gig allies.
Amazing. Gig allies, we love those. We
Yes.
love people who are in on it with us. We don't have to explain anything to them. That is our favorite.
Plus,
Yeah.
this gig happened on a Monday.
Oof. Nice little day off. Ka-ching there. Ka-ching.
You don't have to cancel anything else.
Nope.
You just roll out the door, make a little day off cash.
Yeah, and you get some vitamin D.
You get some vitamin D.
Why not?
I received the charts for the 3 songs that the couple had selected, or the guy proposing.
What are these medical charts? Or
They are musical charts. Thank you for the clarification.
okay.
They are songs that were important, meaningful to this couple.
Amazing.
The charts had obviously been downloaded in maybe 30 seconds, and certainly from the dark web of music, which is called MuseScore. To all of you non-musicians out there, it's a website where amateurs can just sort of beep boop in notes that look like the song. And then
If you put a title up there that says it's the song, it's the song.
And then musicians in a rush download that thing. because they can't be bothered to look further.
Yeah, no, they can't be bothered to listen to the entire song, to memorize the chord changes in this scenario.
Yeah.
No.
So I see that that's what I'm working with. That's the material.
Yeah.
Great. I'm not going to look further.
Yeah.
One of the charts was not really for any instrument. And in fact, the notes were all just squished together. Not as a chord, but just as a printing error.
Oh, so it would be like if you were reading a book and all the letters were jumbled up and squished together in a big circle.
Which is a good point because the title of the song was actually swished together in a big circle. And I said to the boss, hey, can you send a different chart for this? And they said no.
They just straight up were like, no.
They said no.
Oh my God.
I said, okay, we'll make it work.
This is unfortunate because you pretty much can read anything. You can sight read, which means put anything in front of this lady and she'll read it. You're a lady.
Right. I'm a lady. So I did what anyone would do. I listened to the song and I said, I'll remember this tune. I'll play it by ear.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
A proposal is low stakes because they're not even hearing the music.
No.
They're focused on each other. It's a blur for them.
Yeah.
It's not, nobody's walking down the aisle.
No. Well, I do have a follow-up, but continue, please. Okay.
So get to the gig. It's outside in Central Park.
Yeah.
It was the least beautiful part of Central Park. It was some sort of mud pit.
Oof.
And I meet the
Maybe
musicians.
they were wrestlers. Maybe they met wrestling.
Yeah, they might have been wrestle
buddies
from Wrestle Club.
They did co-ed wrestling.
Yeah, it was co-ed
Or was this
wrestle.
a gay couple? It's a straight couple.
I don't know.
One of them could have been trans.
Nobody told me.
Nobody even knows.
Nobody told me.
At this point, no one knows anything ever. Great.
I know what I think I saw.
What did you think you saw?
Some wrestling buddies
In a mud pit?
in the mud pit. All right, so musicians and I get there. The conceit is the wrestling buddies will show up and we are already playing. And surprise, we start playing some of their favorite songs. One of the wrestlers gets down on one knee. The musicians were here all along, but it turns out they're actually our musicians.
I love that trick.
So we're in a crowded area. It's springtime. Central Park is popping off. So we figure, why not set our cases out, throw some cash in there, make a few extra bucks.
You did that? Hell yeah.
Yes.
How much did you make?
I will get to that part later.
Oh, no.
So what are we going to play while we wait for the wrestlers to show up? Of course, we're going to play Viva La Vida.
Oh, yes.
So we're cranking away on Viva La Vida. We sound great. A crowd is assembling. They're all getting their phones out.
Oof.
Surprise moment. They're like, this is magic in New York City. These musicians are just here. They're playing Viva La Vida on a never-ending loop. I got my case out for the cash. I'm seeing people throw in some fives.
Hell yeah.
The wrestlers show up. We transition to the music we were given. It sounds immediately so bad.
It's like it was written in Chinese.
Yeah, the chords are straight up wrong. They don't match the melody. So we go from playing Viva La Vida to playing nonsense that nobody recognizes. The large crowd has assembled, slowly dispersed.
Oh, good. That's so embarrassing.
In a way that you could tell they were embarrassed for us.
Oh, my God.
The proposal happens, and we say congratulations to the couple. Yeah. We feel like we're going to get out of there unscathed because while the crowd heard the noises we were making, they were so far away they didn't hear it.
Amazing.
They come up to us. The couple asks us, can you please play the songs again now that we're paying attention?
Yeah.
So we just buckle up and we just say this is the end of the relationship between us as musicians and this couple.
Yeah.
And we crank through these 3 songs.
Who's looking at who here for cues? Who's cueing who?
Nobody's looking at anyone because we're humiliated.
So what did this music look like? Were you all playing different parts or was it all in unison?
We had been given a piano part to play as a string trio. Mm-hmm. We'd been given 2 piano parts and 1 mystery part was just notes squished together. Turns out the mystery part was their all-time favorite song.
Oh, no.
So they specifically wanted to hear that song again, which sounded nothing like the original song.
That is perfect.
And then we packed up and we ran away.
Were they like standing there like, can you play that again?
They looked confused. They looked like they were craning to latch onto the melody. They couldn't quite recognize it.
That's amazing. Craning to listen. You know, can you imagine?
Yeah. And the other musicians seemed kind of embarrassed and demoralized. I was invigorated.
You loved it. This is incredible.
Mm-hmm. It was huge news.
Honestly, like, I'm getting ideas. This is fodder for more stuff.
Do you want to start a business? That's your idea?
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. There's so much to this because the person who is just AIing squished music notes into MuseScore to make a couple bucks.
Yes.
Genius.
How
many more weird businesses does this guy have? Squishing notes into MuseScore, getting people to pay for it. Like, it's amazing. I bet that happens all the time. I mean, there are 8 billion people on this planet? I'm sure. Why don't we do something like that? Let's get AI to extract and squish notes together, and then we sell on MuseScore. And who cares if the reviews are bad? We'll just use a burner email and a fake bank account. Or a real bank account, but like not put our names on it.
The problem is...
Or you use PayPal, right? No one cares.
The problem is, as soon as I start going down this road, as soon as I'm like, how to use AI to make squished together notes, I lose interest.
Yeah.
I don't care
second you
anymore.
start typing and trying to find out
like,
how to do stuff. I know.
The second I start setting up a fake email, by the way,
yeah,
I have so many fake emails.
Me too. And what with your, new name?
Yeah, my new old
your
name.
New old name? Your dead name, but now is alive again?
You wouldn't believe how many Hulu trials I've got going with this new name.
Like period E, no E.
Yeah.
Just squished together notes.
Yeah. I'm trialing everything.
It's amazing.
Everything's on trial.
Really good. I love this story. It's giving me life. I love it so much.
Thank you. Do you want to do this story?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Honestly, it's embarrassing,
Really?
invigorating. No, your story.
Oh, yeah, my
But
story.
it's great. And you saw a lot. There was a lot of stuff to experience. And my story involves nothing that actually had to do with the music itself.
Okay.
But the things we encounter along the way.
On the journey.
On the journey to and from. This is from. Okay? So. This is after a show. A travel gig. Where, unfortunately, we did not get taken all the way home. Okay? Sometimes, as musicians, a person feels generous enough to drive us. He who doth have a car, or she, could be either. They. We did not get blessed that night. So we got driven home half the way, which means in New York City, the other half is the subway.
You gotta schlep.
Yeah, you gotta schlep. We schlepped half of the way.
Can I interject here?
Yeah, do schlep.
On behalf of someone that does have a car
Yeah.
and has driven people home from gigs.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So the thing you do if you're getting driven home
Yes.
is you go, oh, just take me to this train.
Yeah.
I'll get the train home from there.
Yeah.
And then the driver has the option to say, no. I'll drive you all the way home.
Ooh.
Or, great, I'll take you to that train.
You know what that is?
What is
That's
it?
that's one of those diagrams.
Yes.
Of
Yes,
how
no,
to
maybe.
politely ask. Another
Yes.
idea.
That's another AI business idea.
That's another AI business idea or just a meme. Really good. Okay.
Okay. So that's what you do.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it has happened to me that I say, where would you like to get dropped? And they go, oh, you know what? It's really easy for me. Just go straight here and then turn here. And they start leading you. Mm-hmm. They don't give you an address. You
Whoa.
realize that they're leading you step by step to the front door of their apartment.
Oof. That's BDE right there.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're like, I just gave you a door-to-door ride.
Love that. I've never done that, but I really should.
Okay, so next time, try that.
Next time, just don't tell them the address.
Mm-hmm.
When you just want to ride home, just tell them right, left, take the second exit.
Yep. So
And then drop me off right here. And they're like, oh, are you sure? And they're like, yeah. And then run out so that they can't realize that that's actually your apartment.
Yeah, and then
You just do a little scream and then go, oh my God. And then like take out your phone and be like, shit. I need to get out right here. And then wait until they pull off. And then they're inevitably going to ask you like, are you okay? Like what's happening? You're like, no, you have to
private.
leave.
It's
You have to
private.
leave. You have to leave. You have to leave.
Yeah.
Then it's actually your house.
Run behind a dumpster,
Run behind a dumpster. Yeah.
duck down.
Yeah.
On your way to the dumpster, serpentine, run sideways so they can't follow you with their eyes.
Yeah.
They get dizzy.
Yeah.
Once they've driven away, duck inside your apartment. Leave all the lights off in case they drive back again.
Yes. But you know what though? That's gonna get the driver to become concerned about you. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, if you're riding with that person next time,
Yeah.
do this stuff again, but then lead them to a different place so that they think that wasn't your apartment initially.
Right.
That you're going to a different place.
You're going to have to move.
So that they don't think that you completely conned them.
Move to a
You're going to
different-
have to move.
Move to a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
Every time you play a gig with this person, if you want to get a ride home,
Yeah.
you'll have to move to a new neighborhood.
Exactly.
Ideally, a different borough.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
you live on Staten Island? No.
Just we gotta pull the car into this big boat.
Please get on the boat.
We have
I
to
have
get
a
on the
family
boat.
emergency. Get on the boat.
That's how you get a ride home. So we were okay. So we didn't get a ride home all the way. It was me and another gag friend.
Yep.
We're on the 7 train. We're about to get on the 7 train. Okay, because if you live in my neighborhood, you got to take 3 trains to really get anywhere.
You got to get train to train to train.
Train to train to train. Sometimes though, train to train to train is a 25-minute thing. If your trains are running on time, if God has blessed you that day. God did not bless us that day.
No.
That night. It was a nighttime. It was like 12:30 in the evening. Nighttime, midnight, right?
No.
Next day, basically. This
You
was
were
a
in the-
2-day gig,
You.
if you really want to think about it.
Yep. You were in the future.
Yeah. So we go down. Everyone's running down. And we're just not even like paying attention. We're just doing automatic automation.
Here we go.
We look to the side. We are both running down. We clock it. Boom, 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 boom. We see blood. We see a towel, and we see something wrapped in a towel that resembles a hand.
No.
We clock it. We clock it. We clock it. We have to turn left. We turn left. We turn left. We turn left. Then we look at each other and we say, "Was that a severed hand?" And then we look at each other and keep running. We run. We miss our trains. So the next 10 minutes, we're standing there like, should we go back and see this hand? Is it a hand?
Did you?
Did you see that? No, we didn't. We didn't go back. It was too scary. But it was definitely a severed hand. Wrapped in a towel with like blood drippings around it.
Do you think that it was someone on their way home from a gig that was so tired of playing their gigs that they just cut off their hand?
Sure. Absolutely.
Do you think, were the fingers reaching for you?
It was like the front part of the hand, you know, the part of the hand that you make a hand faces, hand puppets.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It was that part.
It was finger claws.
It was finger claws.
Was it doing dog? Finger puppet?
It was doing some kind of dog. It was doing big dog.
Where it's
I think probably maybe this was a hand puppet gig guy.
It was a hand puppet guy on his way home from a gig.
Yeah, but definitely the hand had rigor mortis because it was really stiff looking and a little bit bruised. That's all I remember. I remember reflecting on the hand on my way home and thinking, boy, once you've seen one thing, you've seen it all. Am I right?
Once you've seen a hand.
Once you've seen a severed hand, you've seen it all. Am I right?
Am I right?
Eyes up here.
My eyes are up here.
Eyes up here. Am I right?
Am I right? Hand.
Yeah, so.
Were the fingernails painted?
No, it was just regular hand. I will say, darker skin.
Like my color?
Darker than that.
If I was a latte, a little less milk.
We're seeing the same memes. We have been seeing the same memes. I'm saying no milk at all.
I see.
It was a severed black hand with blood drippings and a towel wrapped around it that I saw on the platform on the way to Grand Central stop on the 7 going into Long Island City.
That is the most surprising part of the story because I would expect that from some trains.
Yeah.
The M train.
For sure the J. I used to live on the J. You know, every time I boarded the J train, I went, J money. I thought that train was named after Jay-Z because of the Marcy Avenue stop.
Hova.
The M, the J.
Not the 7.
Not the 7. Certainly not.
No.
And I was thinking
4, 5, 6, maybe.
For sure.
Up
in the Bronx areas? Mm-hmm. Sorry, Bronx, but y'all do weird stuff up there.
1, 2, 3, no. No hands.
Maybe.
The A train, hand.
For sure, hand. A handshake hand. Maybe 2 hands in locks, in like shaking. 2 people got severed at that time.
While they were shaking hands. What about the S train?
The F train?
The F?
Definitely on the F train. The S train? Yeah. The shuttle in Prospect Park? For sure.
Absolutely shuttle.
Absolutely. The L train?
No.
You know what? No.
No.
I don't think so. The L train used to get a bad rap. It's running fine.
It's really fine.
Yeah, so just in case you're tuning in now, we're located in New York City. That's why we keep rattling off these trains.
Yeah, that's why we're just saying trains. Every train has a distinct personality.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay.
The Q train is the fancy train. Because that's the 2nd Avenue train on the east side. Mm-hmm. It's a fancy guy. That's for fancy doctor types.
The Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pinky's up for the Q.
Pinky's up. Martini's in.
The G train.
Girl, don't look at me like that. The G train is most improved. Gets the award for most improved. Okay?
If you're the most improved, that means you started from the bottom.
Girl, I got most improved in 5th grade.
Did you start from the bottom?
Girl, yeah.
I got most improved when I was in piano proficiency.
Is that how you played piano?
Probably. I was a horrible pianist.
Yeah. You just look at the keys and press them down.
Couldn't even do that. That's
What would you do? Blow on them?
So that's how I started. And then I figured out the pressing, and that was most improved.
Take your hair and just like...
Yeah, I used my elbows. I used my knuckles. I did chopsticks.
People do play with their knuckles. People do play with backwards hands. Have you ever seen that? Upside down hands?
Yeah. Severed hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, well, that was crazy. And, the other day I saw some guy like I went to my first baseball game last week.
Ooh.
Actually, one of the best games of the season, unbeknownst to me. I thought they were always like that.
Nope.
I was like, okay, so they're not always like kind of medium to light fun. Like, okay, so they must be really super just like chill.
Dude.
I like the parts where people scream.
Yes.
I like when people do the wave.
Yes.
I really love it when people are screaming and dancing, trying to get on the Jumbotron.
I love the crowd participation.
Yeah.
I love when the ball goes into the audience and everyone gets feral.
Yes.
To get that
there was so much of that.
Ball.
That was happening a lot.
Here's what I don't love.
Say it.
About baseball. When something's happening so far away from you and a kind of like chunky man is running.
Yeah.
Because those baseball players do not have the best builds.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the people around you are like, oh, ooh, 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 ooh. And like something's happening. And you're like, I don't know what's happening. Like any other sport, you can see what's happening. If it's hockey, you can tell because I was hitting each other.
I love hockey.
I know, hockey's so cool to watch.
So fun.
And then like basketball, you can see like the thing is going in the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like stereotypical. I don't understand sports.
No.
I get it. I don't understand sports. I don't want people to assume that I should get it.
Yeah. They're talking to you about like some kind of like running play and you're like, okay, aren't they all running and playing? Like, isn't that what this sport is called? Running play?
It's running play sport.
Baseball is definitely one of the easier ones to understand, for sure. There's a diamond, there's plates, there's balls, there's hitters.
Yeah, but
sometimes
sometimes they hit the
there's
ball.
Pitch hitters?
Yeah,
no, I don't think
so.
They
hit it with the bat.
They hit it with the bat.
It looks great. It looks like they did the right thing. And everyone's like, oh, next time. And I'm like...
Sometimes the ball looks like it's flying right at you, but it's actually going backwards. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And then news to me, apparently the pitchers can just throw it at you wrong. And I was like, that's not fair. What if I just did stuff wrong all the time and like people would love me for it?
You can just throw it wrong, but in a way that the human eye can't see.
Yeah.
But some human eyes can see.
You can just throw it way south. And it's like, how am I supposed... Aren't you supposed to throw it good so somebody can hit it?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing I don't like, right? It's like, what are we playing Monopoly here? No, just hit it so someone can... Throw it so someone can hit it nice, so everyone can see the ball whooshing in the air, and everyone goes, whoa!
Yeah.
What's the big idea?
And you know, the thing about it is like, some people love it so much, and they know all the stats, and they know who did what for who, and who used to be where. And when they start talking like that, I'm like, cut the crap. You don't actually like this.
Yeah, you're pretending.
Who are you fronting for?
Yeah, if you liked stats, go do
stats.
Go do stat stuff.
Yeah. People kept coming up to you and being like, "Oh, you went to your first Mets game? How was it?" And I was like, "Stop. You don't like it."
Yeah, you're just lying.
You don't actually like that.
You're just a stats guy.
You like what we all like, which is food and sleep.
Yeah. The real Mets fans are the ones who are like, "Yeah, cool. Nice hat." If you're wearing a Mets hat. Those are the real fans.
Exactly. Those are the real fans.
They don't start rattling off plays and stuff.
So that is our take on the Mets.
Oh, so what I was saying was You see crazy stuff on the subway, right?
Yes.
I'm piggybacking on the hand thing, guys.
Okay, go back to
all right?
hand.
I'm doing hand. I'm doing linear but loopy.
Yep.
Linear but loopy. All right? So this guy gets on the train, visibly is having a terrible time.
Oh.
I look down. Someone fucking like, I think his entire shin is cracked. And I was like, what happened to this guy? And I mean, I wanted to help him, but it looked like he was on his way to get help. And he was doing a bunch of heavy breathing and holding back tears.
Poor guy.
Yeah. This is the kind of shit you see on the subway.
You do see some
A lot of weird stuff.
difficult things for the eyes.
So that was on my way from a game. Severed hand on my way home from a gig that I wasn't driven all the way home to.
It's hard to know when
Yeah.
you see someone in distress if their distress is real or trap.
Oh.
Because when you're just a small woman,
Tiny little woman.
tiny lady,
A little woman.
see someone flailing around and writhing in pain, and your instincts are to go help them, but then you think it might be trap.
I don't think it's a trap. Well, okay. Okay.
You know,
Here's
like-
a really scary thing. Are you guys ready for this scary thing? There was a guy in my, okay. Back in Michigan, there was this homeless man, unhoused man, who really liked jazz. Okay? He was a jazz
junkie.
unhoused man. Aficionado. Okay? So apparently he was like a savant. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that, but I just have to just repeat what I was told.
Sure.
Okay? And one of like the donors from like some like jazz festival or whatever like would notice this guy. They housed this man, had him come into their house to live there. He straight up murdered them. Yeah. He like murdered them.
That's so scary.
Yeah, dude.
That's just what I said.
Is that trap or is it like
help or trap?
Is it help or trap or is it like, but if that person were really to help this person, they would have put them in like a home or something. I don't know. Scary, right? Yachty. Caroline is giving the dog the mic.
She was snoring.
She was
so
snoring
loud.
so good. Oh, look at her tongue. Listeners, Yachty the dog has her tongue out. We have to take a picture. Yachty, Yachty, Yachty. Oh, damn it. I hate that. It's like,
okay.
This is why you have to have cameras on you at all times to capture all the cute moments.
So true.
Then you have to hire a staff of people to like go through all your edits and watch everything.
Okay, so I don't know the answer about the jazz guy murderer.
Is it a help or?
It's tough to hear.
It's tough to hear. Yeah, let's go back to gigs and gags. But
Yeah.
okay, that did pertain to gigging in
It did.
in
It
New
was
York
connected.
City. If you guys are thinking about moving here, you're gonna see some wild stuff if you're paying attention. If you're doing your weird apps, if you're just snoozing your way through life, then no, you're not gonna see it. So
You're
my
gonna miss-
recommendation is take those earbuds out because they do give you cancer anyway. The Bluetooth ones. Don't use them. Take them out. Observe your immediate circumstances.
You might just see a hand.
You might just see a hand. Really good.
So, would you like to do our third gag?
Oh, we have a write-in.
I'll read it for you. You can react.
Oh,
Okay. You haven't seen this yet.
no.
Okay.
Thank you for writing in so much.
Thank you,
Friend of the
Gagger.
pod.
Thank you, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Thank you.
Okay, here I go.
Okay.
I got this gig through a pianist I play with all the time in this event band.
Okay.
We do weddings, corporate stuff, you name it.
The huge. Okay.
He passes gigs to me when he's double booked or can't do it. Yes. It's very good to have someone you can rely on in that situation.
You got to have at least 3 to 6 people like that.
And be that person.
Ideally 10 to 20.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of juggling. Okay.
One day he texts me and says, "Hey, I can't make this private gig, but it sounds like good money. Want me to pass your info along?" I say sure, and a few hours later, I get this email from an assistant.
Oof.
Says he's reaching out on behalf of a very well-known tech billionaire, like top 5 richest people alive.
Whoa.
I don't know, something like that. Reading those lists make me question everything I do with my life. I don't relate. This guy.
Yeah, because as soon as you go on ChatGPT to like, how do I do this thing, you get tired of it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that thing. This guy probably makes $1 million in 2 seconds. Okay. Great.
I mean, honestly, cool. I would love that.
Yeah. He wants to hire me to play at his mom's birthday dinner, and the email looked legit. So I was like, okay, I wrote back and said my fee for something like this is $5,000. Fully expected to never hear back because honestly, I probably would have done that gig for $300, so it didn't really matter. Yeah, play the gig you want, not the gig you got.
Well,
some of my
$5,000, dude.
Yeah,
$5,000 gigs are good. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
Lucky guy.
Sometimes you got to be quoting high if you don't really want to do it and you don't think it's going to happen, because these types of gigs just usually fall through.
Yeah.
You have to be like, okay, $10,000.
Yeah. Okay. I have a follow-up, but keep going.
Okay. 20 minutes later.
People be pranking. That's all I'm saying.
People do be pranking. The assistant responds. That sounds perfect. We'll arrange for a car to pick you up. Yeah, dignitary.
Hell yeah.
I just sat there staring at the screen like, wait, what? Then I sent my shitty little contract in. And sure enough, it was returned back to me in like 10 minutes. Dude, my contract is just ratchet.
Yeah, mine is terrible.
Okay.
I actually remember I passed along your contract to a friend.
Yeah?
He loved it.
I think I used ChatGPT to write it.
Amazing.
I think.
Good. And you think it's right?
No idea.
But it worked?
It's like someone's like, okay, can you send me your contract? And you're like, oh, okay. So you go write a contract.
Yeah.
Or they're like, okay, send along your resume. And you're like, resume?
Yeah, I thought I already booked this gig.
Yeah.
You already asked me if I could do it.
Resume. Oh, can you send some videos of your playing? No. Just trust me.
Yeah.
I know how to play.
Yeah, exactly.
You want a video? Okay. So the black SUV shows up, super professional.
Really good.
I get in and we start driving. Now I'm imagining this mansion or whatever and the insane food I'm about to eat. But we end up in this totally regular neighborhood in LA. Nice. Not bad at all. Actually kind of cozy, super normal. I can't say where exactly. Nice.
Really nice. Probably NDA, yeah.
But we pull up to this simple, well-kept house with a little porch and a cracked driveway. Good touch.
Really good.
Thank you for the descriptive words. The assistant meets me out front, and he's dressed like a guy at Trader Joe's.
Okay.
Rude to guys at Trader Joe's.
I mean,
but yeah. T-shirt, jeans, sneakers, that's how I dress. No earpiece, no clipboard, also how I dress. Just a regular guy. He shakes my hand, says thanks for coming, and walks me around to the side gate. The backyard's got some string lights, a few fold-up tables, one of those catering setups with the little burners and silver lids. Yum. There's maybe 20 people there, mostly older ladies, a dozen or so, and then a few family members. The billionaire himself is there, just wearing a hoodie and jeans, walking around holding a toddler. Is it his toddler? His wife is chatting with one of the older women.
Wow, this guy did his
sister.
research. Oh my God, he's like stalking this billionaire.
There's a couple teenagers looking bored near the punch bowl. The vibe was completely normal. Someone's retirement barbecue, maybe. I felt awful about charging $5,000. Why?
I don't know.
They said yes. So I started playing. I'm tucked in a corner near a planter box. The moms sitting out back. Oh, the moms sitting out back are smiling, chatting, nodding along to the music. I play regular singer-songwriter stuff. My trick is to wear sunglasses so I can stare at the client to see their reaction when I'm changing up the tunes. Really good.
Yeah.
I play Albatross by Fleetwood Mac. Is that a song?
I-
And about halfway through, I notice her face, and then she stands and just quietly heads inside. Then the assistant comes up and quietly tells her son something. I keep playing, but I'm panicking, and then after that, the assistant gently tells me, I think we're good for tonight, which is the polite version of go ahead and pack it up.
Oh, no.
My favorite words. So I do. I unplug, pack my gear, and I'm kind of standing there in the corner, unsure what to do. No one had given me anything about payment yet, so I didn't want to go around asking for a check in front of the family. I might do it. Dude, my most shameless move recently has been to like either do it myself or get someone in the group to go to the planner and straight up ask if there was gratuity.
Yeah.
And just ask for a tip.
Really good.
Okay.
I think it's regular.
I think so.
I think people get really shy about money stuff, but I think it's normal.
Yeah. Honestly, I started to feel bad, like I'd somehow ruined the night. Sad. So I go out to the SUV parked out front, climb in, and just sit there waiting, feeling kind of dumb. Then, just before the driver pulls off, I see the event coordinator come up to the window and hand me an envelope. Inside is a check for the full amount and a handwritten note from the mom. It said, "Thank you for your special music." I sat there holding it for a minute before we pulled away. Weird gig, but honestly, best time to money ratio I've ever experienced. Okay.
Yeah.
Good story, but I have a few follow-ups.
Yeah. Me too. That's crazy. This is something that would happen in LA though, for sure.
Okay.
LA and New York City. Maybe Seattle. I don't know. Maybe Denver.
One time,
Houston for sure.
I'm sure we've discussed it on this pod. You couldn't make it, but I played a gig for this politician in Florida.
Uh-huh.
And the gig was, I'm not going to say it was crazy money, but it was really good money.
Yeah.
And every time something would happen, like we ended early or they fed us or the money was on time, I felt like the other shoe was going to drop.
Yeah.
And musicians always just be thinking that the rich people are trying to pull one over on them.
Interesting. Poverty mentality. Damn it. That's insane. I mean, that must be what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, you and I have played private gigs where we're like, we're going to die here.
Yeah.
And then it's just fine.
Yeah, like someone's going to kill us, someone's going to say psych and just murder us.
Yeah.
But honestly though, like, yeah, you're right. That's like, maybe you shouldn't think that, but like how many times maybe has that happened to people where they show up at a house, they're just told the coordinates, where to show up, how much it pays, and then they end up in a bag on the side of the road.
Yeah, and when I've told people about the private gigs, non-musicians are like, how do you know you're not getting murdered? You know?
Great cue. GQ.
Especially if there's tech people involved.
Seriously.
They cannot be trusted.
They cannot be trusted.
This guy going up to some tech house,
Yeah.
cracked driveway.
Cracked. Honestly, crotch driveway. Maybe that party turned into a big old sex party.
I think someone's trying to get by in the car.
Someone's trying to get by in the car. This is also something that happens in New York City is you can't have a moment of peace. You think, oh, one moment's going to be peaceful. Psych. No.
You know what, though?
What?
I really like when this happens. When I'm here by myself
And
and I hear the horns, I go to the window because usually there's a little fight. People start yelling.
you know what? That happens on my street too.
Do you watch the fight?
I watch the fight. There's like one of three things that happens when stuff like that happens. Mm-hmm. There's a big jam. There's buses jamming. There's people taking Ubers and getting dropped off jamming. There's people trying to find parking jamming. There's jams. 2, there's people getting into a fight at the bus stop. 3, there's an unhoused person with mental issues just screaming. There's 3 things.
Always a screaming guy. Every street has a screaming guy or woman.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yours has a woman and a guy.
Yeah, I have a woman and a guy.
I definitely have a
That's
guy.
good luck.
The screaming women are the ones yelling at their children at the bus stop.
Yeah, my screaming woman walks up and down the street like a ghost.
Oh, I know this lady.
Yeah, and your screaming guy is also a masturbating guy, which is double whammy. That's good luck too.
Love. You have to have people like that. Miscreants. Is that the proper term?
I think that's the proper term.
Is that offensive? Write in, people. Tell me, because I don't know. All right, I don't know everything. Sorry that I don't. I like to be wrong sometimes.
Yep.
God forbid I learn. Right?
Do you want to do your rant now that your levels are spiked already?
Well, I feel like we've done enough time
Okay.
that maybe we should do a rant. Okay, here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is I really had to fight with myself. Like, should we release last pod episode or not? I was being a big bitch. B, I was like, am I gonna alienate a lot of people by swearing and talking about how much I can't stand the protest ladies?
Oh yeah.
Did you have were you worried about that? A little bit.
I felt kind of guilty about talking about the protest ladies.
I felt guilty too, but then I was like, why do I feel guilty?
Yeah, but then we were telling somebody about it at a gig the next day.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this person feels about politics, but we were explaining the protest ladies and he was like, ugh, don't they know our whole lives are a protest?
Oh my God. Absolutely.
I loved it. I was like, I don't know if I agree with that. I think I do, but it's so true.
It is absolutely true. We're literally like anarchists here.
Yeah.
We're Robin Hoods.
Yeah.
We are bona fide Robin Hoods running around, giving people joy,
Right.
trying to make sure all of our finances are in order so we don't get audited and put in prison.
Right. We're doing,
God forbid we make people's lives better.
we're doing Monopoly. We're doing like every day is a roll of the dice. And it just is sort of luck sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you might find the right apartment, you might find the worst apartment, and then everything is about trying to get out of that apartment, or maybe your gigs fall through. And we all had that happen during the novel coronavirus.
Exactly.
All our gigs just bye.
We are all freelancers unless we're plugged in and suckling off the teat of how money actually moves, which please teach me. Somebody.
Don't teach me.
Please help me.
I don't want to know.
Because I don't know what's happening. But did you? Yeah, because like most things are like actually banks. Did you know that? Like Starbucks is actually a bank.
Yeah, these protest ladies actually banks.
They're actually banks. That's my biggest thing was it's like these ladies, like it's just like life is not like what you're used to anymore. And like every time you go to a protest and post online, like you're just giving companies data. You're just giving them data and letting them know about your every move. Like it's not what it used to be. And like stop guilting us. And like when you guys aren't really just like the ones who can't like sit there and just like think about how things have changed because they have changed.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm saying. Is that it just upsets me. Whoop! Yadi. I mean, I hate telling people what to do, but protest to your heart's content. But know that your every single move is literally monitored so that like Macy's or like Crabtree and Evelyn like knows when to put out their like poly blend pink pussy hats or whatever, like, and it works both ways. There's stores dedicated to like MAGA stuff. Like they need their data too. The times have changed. Know the times you live in. Like, now your protest is been co-opted by a company. And it's been happening for years. Like, congrats, you've sold out. Like, isn't that great? All your like favorite like rock stars, like they've sold out. They do commercials now. Like, great. Just realize it and don't shame us and let us do our Robin Hooding.
Yeah, we're doing Robin Hood.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah. This lady you work for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote her.
Yeah.
She was like, I think that same day,
Yeah.
you were so stressed about taxes and
Yes.
you were mentioning it to her.
Yeah.
And stressed about working and, you know, flinging yourself around, doing bag day and all that. And she is a well-to-do woman. She's a woman of means.
Well, let's talk about her means.
Yeah.
One of her means is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, fully everything apartment that she owns in Soho that she probably bought for a fraction of what it's worth now. Like, hello.
And
She's a boomer.
She said when you were, you know, venting, she goes, but you get to make music for a living. And you're like, okay, but you're rich.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of agree with her. Honestly, I do agree with her.
Oh my God. Tell me. Facts. Go. I want to hear this.
Because people that don't do what we do for work,
Yeah.
every day they have to think about, am I wasting my time on the planet? When they're doing emails
Yeah.
and doing spreadsheets, they think, should I get a different job that will make me feel less existentially down in the dumps?
Sure.
Even if they are able to pull out of that, and I'm not saying we don't experience that,
Oh, yeah.
but I think the volume of their experience of email job, real job experience with that compared to our experience with that is just exponentially more.
Yeah. I guess.
I'm not saying that we're lucky and we should be grateful and we can't have problems or be frustrated at protest lady,
Yeah.
but we do get to see people feeling better and happier for a second.
That is just so true. Yesterday, I was like really racking my brain on like what my next moves are like independently.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why not just like put out a video, put out more videos of me playing or singing?
Yeah.
What's the big deal? Like, why am I so against this? Like, what is going on in my brain? Like, it's so interesting. Because it just really is so simple. Why does it have to be so complicated?
Yeah.
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 Really good. Really so good. There's so many other things I wanted to say, but I don't remember them.
Yeah. My eyes are really puffy from the allergies.
I'm really sorry.
My brain is really puffy.
Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone.
It was great playing with you.
It was great playing with you.
It was great playing with you.